Politicians in Iowa are actually trying to loosen child labor laws. We might be headed back to the days of children working in mines. Okay, you know what this is about, right? This is about, we have this influx of immigrant workers coming into this country. It's the Koch brothers, it's a U.S. Chamber of Commerce, it's Associated Industries, it's it's all of these groups that want these workers coming into the United States to work for no money, cheap labor. And you know what? If you kill them on the job, it's okay. Ship them back to Nicaragua, Guatemala. If they lose an arm, ship them back to Mexico. Here we're talking about kids. We want kids working in jobs like mines, right?
Yeah, this is just beyond disturbing. In fact, the ACLU said it is just crazy. It said this is crazy. But you're absolutely right, and I love the fact that you and I didn't talk about this story before we came on, and we both landed at the same spot. It all has to do with immigration, and sure, we've got the big crackdown because you got to send them back. You can't keep them here. So the corporations are looking at this. Well, if we can't have cheap labor from south of the border, we've got cheap labor sitting over here in the high schools. You know, these kids don't know any better. We can put them back to work like those old pictures of the kids walking out of the mines. That is what they want because, yeah, kids would be allowed to go back and be minors again under this new law. They'd work in animal slaughterhouses under this law. Jobs that back in 100 years ago, we finally said, this is dangerous for kids.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. Okay. They lay out, we're going to allow kids to work in freezers, in meat coolers, in slaughterhouses. We're going to allow them to work in the logging industry, some limited in the mining industry. But it's crazier than that. We're going to let them work in demolition. We're going to let them work around circular saws, punching machines, all kinds of dangerous machinery. Why? The heart of it is this. You got the media. Their only story is, oh my gosh, we got to let these immigrants in. You got to let them in. Biden says you got to let them in. It's the humane thing to do. It has nothing to do with humanity. It has everything to do with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Associated Industries saying, we got a new workforce. And you know what? They'll work for $3 an hour. And you know what? If they get hurt, it ain't a big deal. That's what this is about. You tell me, when's the last time you saw corporate media do a story on that?
Oh, never.
No, they don't do stories. It's either they're too stupid to understand how this connects up, or they don't want to offend their advertisers. It's the same story, isn't it?
Their advertisers are the ones who want to hire these children.
Of course.
You're going to have kids sitting in high school next to somebody who suddenly doesn't have an arm on Tuesday because their after-school job in the logging industry, they got it hacked off, but that's what they want, because at these kids, you can also pay them below minimum wage because they're not full-time workers. There's all kinds of loopholes that allow you to screw over this workforce. And so if they say, okay, if we can't get it from Mexico, we're going to go get it from the high school.
What are we hearing from corporate America? American workers are lazy. They don't want to work anymore. They want to sit home and just collect checks and drink and smoke dope. That's the message coming from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Associated Industry and all of the people that want to bring these kids in to do these jobs for nothing. They want to bring the whole family in. They want the family to work picking oranges and strawberries for nothing. And then, oh, by the way, let's let the kids work too. This is a sick, sick story, but it's happening. And it's not just happening in one state.
Right. Yeah, there's this nationwide push. We're starting to see more and more of this across the country.